The Season 3 finale begins with Rhaenyra receiving devastating news. Aegon is alive and Sunfyre has survived as well. The news completely shakes her. She realizes that Aegon's supporters are already spreading the story that his survival proves he was chosen by the gods to rule. Daemon tries to calm her down and reminds her that this is the moment she has been preparing for. Speaking in High Valyrian, he tells her that the realm understands strength above everything else. Rhaenyra finally regains control and orders Daemon to attack Tumbleton. She tells him to eliminate the Hightowers there, but warns him not to make her look like a monster. Rhaenyra then has a confrontation with Baela. Baela blames her for Corlys being captured and questions why Rhaenyra has done so little to find him. Their argument becomes heated, with Rhaenyra calling Baela an insolent child before walking away. Meanwhile, Corlys' men arrive in King's Landing looking for their missing lord. Alan reminds them that they must follow Rhaenyra's orders and protect the city. Adam then identifies himself as Corlys' oldest living son and named successor. Rhaenyra is also determined to strengthen her position publicly. She plans to go to the Great September and force the High Septon to recognize her as queen. At the same time, she removes Mysaria from her position after Mysaria repeatedly argues for a more cautious approach. Helena's situation becomes increasingly disturbing. Mysaria, being escorted out of the castle, warns Helena that Aegon is alive and that Rhaenyra cannot be trusted. She also tells her that Rhaenyra could use Helena's unborn child as a hostage. Later, Rhaenyra visits Helena. Instead of obeying her, Helena tells her that their father would hate what she has become. She says everything Rhaenyra cares about has become ugly. Rhaenyra orders Helena to eat. When Helena refuses, soldiers hold her down and force her to eat. At Harrenhal, Aemond survives after Alis prevents the poison Alicent gave him from killing him. Alis finally explains why she has lived at Harrenhal for so long. She tells Aemond about a boy who was badly burned when Balerion destroyed the castle. His mother turned to ancient forces to save him, but the boy died anyway. The mother tried to die with him but instead became cursed to live forever within the Riverlands. Alis explains that she lost her title and was forced to remain at Harrenhal, serving the various lords who ruled it. Aemond understands that she has spent centuries alone. Their shared loneliness brings them closer and they kiss. Soon afterward, Aemond hears a dragon outside. Gunn has arrived on Sunfyre. Gunn greets Aemond by slapping him and sarcastically announcing that he is alive. Aemond asks for forgiveness, but Aegon remains suspicious. Gunn then reveals his plan. He wants to find Vhagar, destroy Tumbleton, and eventually retake King's Landing. Rhaenyra's army arrives at Tumbleton, where Ormond Hightower has prepared the city for battle. Ormond places children along the walls, intending to use them as human shields against Caraxes and the attacking forces. Daemon arrives with Caraxes alongside Ser Roderick Dustin, Oscar Tully, and the Black Army. Before the battle begins, Gwaine attempts to negotiate a political solution. He offers to return Corlys if they can find a way for the Hightowers and Targaryens to share power. Daemon rejects the proposal. He wants victory. The battle begins as Roderick and the Winter Wolves attack the walls. Daemon initially holds back with Caraxes, but his patience runs out when he learns that Ulf is missing. Eventually, Daemon orders Caraxes into the fight. The dragon burns through Tumbleton's gates, allowing the Black forces to enter. Roderick eventually reaches Ormond on the battlements. Two fight brutally. Ormond cuts off Roderick's arm, but Roderick manages to stab him. Then Ulf finally appears on Silverwing. The Black soldiers initially celebrate when they see him, but their excitement quickly turns to terror. Ulf orders Silverwing to attack the Black forces. Dragonfire tears through the battlefield. Ulf then turns against Tumbleton itself and begins burning the city. Ormond and Roderick are caught in the flames and killed. Daemon enters the city and fights the Hightower soldiers, but the destruction becomes uncontrollable. Buildings collapse, civilians are killed, and the streets fill with bodies. Corlys eventually reaches Daemon and tells him that Ulf has turned and the town is lost. They leave. Gwaine survives the destruction and searches for Daeron, but the young dragon rider cannot be found. Hugh also searches for his wife Cat. He eventually discovers that she has died. While the Battle of Tumbleton is happening, Rhaenyra goes to the Great September wearing armor and her father's crown. She wants the High Septon to officially recognize her as queen. Instead, the religious leaders refuse, believing Aegon's survival proves that he is the rightful ruler. Rhaenyra refuses to back down. She declares the High Septon a traitor and has Alan kill him. Rhaenyra then goes outside and addresses the people gathered around the September. She reveals the secret prophecy passed down through the Targaryen rulers, the Song of Ice and Fire. She tells the people that an ancient darkness exists beyond the wall, and that the realm must be united to survive it. Rhaenyra then turns the prophecy into part of her claim to power. She declares herself Rhaenyra the Chosen and identifies herself as the prince that was promised. Mysaria, despite being banished, watches the speech from within the crowd. When Rhaenyra returns to the Red Keep, Elinda urgently calls for her. Rhaenyra enters Helena's room and discovers that the window is open. Elsewhere, Alicent is shown surrounded by blue butterflies before they disappear. Back in Helena's room, Rhaenyra discovers the embroidery Helena had been working on. The finished design contains images connected to Helena's visions and the future she has seen. Rhaenyra looks at it but gives little outward reaction. She drops the embroidery and closes the window. By the end of the finale, neither side has truly won. Rhaenyra has become increasingly ruthless and has publicly declared herself the chosen figure from the prophecy. Aegon has returned with his dragon and is preparing for another attempt to take the throne. The season closes with Tumbleton destroyed, Helena dead, Daeron missing, and the surviving members of both sides moving toward an even more dangerous stage of the Dance of the Dragons.